Alright, hopefully this will work this time. We'll try another sound check. See if I can hear everything. Check 1 2, check 1 2. Alright folks, that makes me very happy. Looks like we're okay. And a restart did actually work. So here we go. Thanks so much for watching and for sticking with me and being patient. It never fails. There's always some kind of technical difficulty whenever I start streaming, but that's all right because now we're back. And now I'm actually still hearing myself. So let's go ahead and mute that. And I don't need that one anymore anyway, so we'll go back. I'm actually wearing the Helix shirt that I told you about on my last video. Really super excited about that. And how does it look on me? I hope it fits great. This is a 4X. And I've noticed that 3Xs aren't as nice lately. You know, I mean, I've been losing a little bit of weight, but 4X is where it's at for me right now. Okay, looks like we're still having a little bit of problems with the stream. Hopefully that will be all right. What I'm going to do is just push on through this, and it is recording, so there shouldn't be any issues with that. I don't think I can change my stream settings now that we're started. No, I can't. I just upped it to 4,000 bit rate on Streamlabs OBS, so hopefully it'll be alright. They recommend 4,500, and I usually go with 3,000, so we'll see. This is the stream's bit rate. It's lower than recommended. We recommend you use a stream, and there it goes again. Okay, so stream health is going low again. So what we're going to do then, okay, we're just going to push on with this and not worry about this again. I don't know what's going on. Everything was going fine, but anyway, let's just go ahead and go with this. Today I am going to be talking about, is HX1, the new pedal by Line 6, the best option for you? Okay, so and the best option period, you know. So we're going to kind of go with that. I've been seeing quite a few videos lately on the HX1, and we're going to talk about some pros and cons of that and an alternative. If you notice in the thumbnail, there's a little pedal there with a question mark. I've debuted this pedal before, demoed it and everything. All the links, by the way, will be in the description below. I'm going to do chapters after the stream is over, and I'm going to keep track of the chapters as we go along. So, or probably after this, I'll probably unlist this, and then that way I can check the stream, and then if it's terrible, then I'll just relist it, re-upload it and list it probably for tomorrow, Tuesday, November the 7th here on YouTube. But anyway, we're going to be talking about the HX1. Is it your best option? Kind of give you an overview of what the pedal is, what it's about, and what I consider a really good option, a really good cost-effective option, and we'll go into all those details as well. Okay, so bear with me. It is almost midnight here in good old Tennessee. So I'm going to power through this, and we will see what happens, and I'm going to go worry about the stream. Okay, so you get what you get right now, and then we will power on through this and continue doing the best we can. All right. I don't think I can sign. It says sign in the chat. Let's do that. Open this chat in the web browser. Let's see if it'll let me do that. Good. Okay. So sorry. I was letting everybody know in the chat that I'm just going to go ahead and power on through this. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. You can do that. But let's get right on into this, okay? We're going to be going into the Line 6 HX1, okay? And I've actually, if you want to see the show notes for this on my Trello board, the Trello card, with all, different links and things like that, you can become a YouTube member. It's very easy. Just go to ericbeatty.com/YouTube members, all one word, and that'll take you right to my YouTube members page where you can sign up for that, okay? So let's go ahead and go to my screen here. Screen here. Let's see, how can I do this? Let's just do it this way. All right, so I think we're going to go with this view. Yeah, we'll go with that view. This is where the link here that you see, the ericbeatty.com/gear, is where you can check out more about this. I have to add some of these to my gear page. Haven't done that just yet, but if not, the actual links will be below as well. If I've somehow forgot to add them to my gear page, which I hope to do. But anyway, here is the HX1 by Line 6. They just came out with it. I think it released maybe the end of October. I've seen videos from John Cordy, Steven Serlacci, 2 or 3 other people, I think. So I don't have one in my possession, but I wanted to go over some of the, just overview this a little bit. And if you want to see a demo of these things, you can go to their channels. But I'm going to show you a demo of a different pedal that we can kind of use. So let's kind of scroll down here and see what's going on. HX1 is a powerful stereo effect pedal in an ultra-compact enclose that easily fits onto any pedal board. It features intuitive controls, 250 plus effects taken from the HX family processors, a unique flux controller, a jack for connecting an optional expression pedal or 2 foot switches, adjustable input impedance, MIDI capabilities, and a choice of true or buffered DSP bypass. Okay, so you have an overview video here. You can watch that as well. That's their overview of it. Excuse me. So the features, like they say, it's ultra compact. It's got behavioral modeling, where you can change the different things in the schematics, bias, and all that stuff. Well, there's no amps in this, but different you can change the behaviors in the effects. It has a special flux controller. We'll probably talk about that in a minute. Adjustable impedance, external control, all this stuff they just said earlier, and it's DC powered. Not sure if you can put a 9-volt or anything in there. Not exactly sure if it's DC only. Have to look. But we can click to explore. Okay, so the display, you can press the home button to view the currently selected effect and its 3 primary parameters on the OLED display in the home view. And the home button is right here. Okay. Additional views supporting tasks such as loading, saving presets, and configuring controller and device settings are also available. We have input, left, mono, and right. You can use standard 1/4-inch cables. Your right and this right can act as a return or a send as well. You can connect stereo pedals, keyboards, synths, or other modelers to both the left, mono, and right inputs because they are, send and return and things like that. Okay, so now it said, different. Yeah, you can connect different, what am I trying to say? Instruments. So you could probably technically have 2 guitars on this because you've got 2 inputs. You've got a return and a send. And on my actual Helix LT, I use the return, I think, for like my bass if I want a different input. You have MIDI in and out and through. Okay, you can connect it to your MIDI gear, your MIDI controllers, things like that to do all your MIDI controlling. What do they call those? Program changes and continuous controller CC messages, and an expression pedal or foot switch 3 and 4. You use a TS cable for your expression pedal or a TRS connector with foot switch to assign the parameters. Now, that probably 3 and 4 is probably 1 foot switch, or it says dual foot switch. Okay, so you can use a dual foot switch here. Okay. All right, so let's go down. We have some more demos here of the different effects that are in the HX1. And if you want to see this website, it's line6.com/HX-1. That's where you'll see all this. But I don't have that link in the show notes, but I do have the links where you can purchase these pedals. But if you want to see the videos and different things like that, you can check that out. Now, there's a lot more than they list here, obviously. Okay, so you've got a process comparator chart. You've got manuals, so you can get the manuals and everything. The big thing about this, and I don't know if it's set it up here or not. Let's see. It's called the HX1 because you can use one effect at a time. Okay, that's the big thing, is you can. It has a looper, I think, so that's a plus. I don't know if it's a 6-switch looper. I guess they're not 6-switch, but on-off looper, 1-switch, multi-switch looper. If I'm not mistaken, and so you can use the looper in this. It also has all these delays, all these reverbs, everything that the pretty much HX Effects does, I guess. But you can only use one at a time. Now, this reminds me of a pedal my brother had for a while, and I was really jealous of him when he got it. And that is the Line 6, I believe it was called the M9. And it was kind of like this. I think I want to say it had 3 foot switches instead of 2. I could be wrong. But it was a big multi-effects pedal too. It didn't have 250 plus effects, but it was very similar to this. Okay, so one effect at a time. Not exactly sure if I would like that. I'm not exactly sure who the market for these pedals are. I can understand if you were just starting with Line 6, or you just need an extra pedal for drive, or you want it to be your Swiss Army tool of pedals, of effects pedals and everything. So it's got drives, it's got reverbs, delays, pitch effects, a looper, the flux control, the rotary. So the flux control, by the way, it doesn't say what this is, but it is basically a ramping effect to where you can change the curve and the speed of a ramping effect. So you could start with a delay that's longer, and then by pressing this flux button, it will increase that delay. So you could create all these different weird effects and things like that. So these are showing you all these different things with flux controls and some other things like your flanger, your drives, your phasers. You got a tremolo, you got a whatever a minotaur is. I'm guessing that's the clone. Okay, so there's all these that you can do and use. Okay, so let me go back to my main screen here and talk about these things. Okay, so it does have a looper. It has the flux control, the pros for the HX1, and I should have done this and I forgot to, so I've got to put another timestamp in here somewhere so that I can put this in here. Okay, so some of the pros of the HX1, you have the looper, you have the flux control, it's compact. Like I said, it's ultra compact. It fits on the space of maybe 1.5 pedals on your pedal board, and it has 250 plus effects, over 250 effects. Okay, so that's a lot, and even though it is a lot, it's still just one effect at a time. Okay, so there's that to think about. And like I said, if you wanted to go to anyone else, let's see, if you want to go to the other people to see what their demo is of these pedals, by all means, you can go do that. Like I said, I recommend John Cordy. Steven Serlacci is really good. I'm not sure. I don't think Jack Gardner has demoed one of these yet, but he is a good gear demo reviewer as well. And there's several others that have been launching videos regarding the HX1. I've got a comment here. Chris Sean says, I have a Hotone X Stomp. Same concept. Great Swiss Army FX pedal. So the fact that Chris chatted with me makes me think my stream is doing pretty well. So let me check on that real quick. I hope it is. Okay, I can hear the audio, but the video is terrible. So Chris, if you're watching this, I'm probably going to take this down after this stream tonight, and the actual video is actually recording, so it's going to be a much clearer recording, and I'll probably just re-upload that either tonight or tomorrow and release that video instead, because this has got a lot of lagging in it, at least as far as I can see. If there's nothing wrong with it, then I'll just leave it as is. But anyway, so that's kind of the pros, and if you want to see demos of that, you can do that as well on those channels that I just mentioned. All right, so let's see here. All right. So if you want a pedal that kind of does it all, and John Cordy, I think, has done some of the Hotone pedals as well. He may have already done the what'd you call it again, John? Chris, I mean, Hotone X Stomp. Maybe it's Hotone Stomp. I don't know. But John Cordy's done some of those as well. Those videos on Hotone stuff, I'm pretty sure. And Paro, I think, may be the same company, or is a brand affiliated with Hotone, I think. Anyway, like I said, it's almost midnight, so my brain is kind of like on the slow side right now. So bear with me. Let's continue on as far as the pros and what you might want to do with one effect at a time. Honestly, since I'm so ingrained into using my Helix LT and all these effects at one time, I can't see going back to one effect at a time. But once again, if you're a beginner, or if you're just starting a pedal board, or if you just want a pedal that does it all, even if you don't, have it doing multiple things at once, then by all means, the HX1 is no doubt a good contender. Like I said, I'm wearing the Line 6 Helix shirt. I have a Helix LT. I have Helix Native. I'm a big fanboy of Line 6. Don't get me wrong. But there is an alternative that we can talk about and we can discuss. Okay? So, like I said, watch the other videos by the other people. See if and get a better idea of what this pedal does, and see if it is going to work for you. And until then, let's get on into the alternative pedal that I've brought with me here. Okay, so I've done a demo of this already. There is a link in the description below that you can find the original demo video for this pedal. But without further ado, this pedal is the Zoom MS50G multi-effects pedal for guitar. Okay. A lot of good stuff about this, and I realize you can't really see this very well because the camera here isn't really good in focus. It's more for long distance, but I have done a demo on this, and if you want to see that, like I said, check out the video description below, the links there. This pedal, just as a quick overview here, we'll go into the overview. I want to kind of, we'll go into that in a minute. I want to kind of follow my script here so that I don't mess up. The good thing about the Zoom pedal here is, for one thing, it's not just one effect at a time. You can have up to 6 effects, okay? So let me follow along with me here. Here's one, okay? It's very hard to see, I know. We have a noise gate. I have a noise gate on just about all my patches. Right here, number 2, we have a tube screamer. It's engaged. This means it's engaged if it's red. We have a 2-rock amp model, and that's another thing we'll get into in just a second. This is number 4. This is a chorus, and notice that the light went off because I don't have this engaged. Number 5 is a delay, and that's all I need on this amp. I don't really need a reverb because the delay kind of acts as that. But so I have room to add one more effect. Now, some of these take up more DSP than others, and sometimes you can only get away with 5 effects depending on what you add here. But that's still more than one effect at a time. Okay, so you're getting a lot for what you're getting here. All right, so up to 6 effects. Okay. There are amp models included, whereas in the HX1 does not have amp models. You're not going to get amp models unless you go to either the Pod Go, or if you want to stay in the Helix family and get Helix updates regularly when they get updates. Pod Go is kind of like lagging far behind when they get updates. Then the least you can get is probably HX effects. If you want amps, the least you can get is probably the HX Stomp. Okay, but for this, like I said, up to 6 effects at once, you have amp models included. Okay, and this has, I don't think I've put this here. Did I somewhere? Okay, I'm gonna add this to my show notes here, and that is 172 effects. Okay, so as opposed to 100, excuse me, there's 250 effects in the HX one. In the Zoom MS50G, there's 172. That's still quite a bit, and it was enough for me for the longest. This is what I used before I finally got my Helix LT, and I would recommend this up and down. I love this pedal. It's a very, very reliable and dependable pedal. It is dated. It looks dated. You can tell it kind of looks weird and laggy. The GUI does, the window here. The user interface looks kind of laggy as it goes over, but let me tell you, it is not laggy when it comes to performance. Okay, now I'll play you some sound samples here in just a little bit for this, and you'll see how good it sounds. To me, I mean, it's not the level of Helix, obviously, but it has some great sound. Zoom has some good quality products. Okay, the other thing that it has here, I'll get into that in a minute. Let's go ahead and this part, it says that there's 3 ways to power this thing. And to me, that's great. Okay. As you can see here, this is the USB cable. Okay. So the USB cable can be used to power the device as well as use the software that comes with it, to where you can add effects or take away effects. Now, it's not an editor, but it will allow you to add the effects. Now, it can't hold all 172 effects at once. What it is this, it gives you this editor, and all the effects are included in that, and you just have to pick and choose which ones you want. Some you don't use many of, you can leave those off, and then you can sync it together, and it will include all those effects that you wanted. Right now, I've got 149 effects on this. Excuse me, out of the 172. And that's more than enough for me from what I need. I can do I picked and choose the ones that I like the most. And if I want to experiment with some other things, I can always go back in the computer and check that out with their software that's included. We're going to go on the overview page, just like we did with the HX1 here in just a little bit. But like I said, there's 3 ways to power it. I'm using the USB. You can also use an external power supply. Okay, now I recommend the Donner power supply I recently bought, maybe a year ago, and I use it to pedal a bunch of different pedals, to power a bunch of different pedals, and that's a really good pedal. I'll have to include that link. I don't have it here on the description just yet. I'll have to include that here in just a little bit. Another thing is, the good thing about the Zoom pedal is it is more cost effective. The HX1 costs right now $299 USD. Okay, to me that's a little steep. Maybe $199. I can see that. You are getting a lot of, you're getting the updates. I understand that you're getting a lot of all these effects. When they come out with new effects, you'll be getting the new effects, right? So I just lost my train of thought. It's the price point at $199. I can understand it because you're only using one effect at a time. You can only use one effect at a time with this thing. But $299 seems a little steep. Okay. So on the contrary, the Zoom MS50G brand new goes for, I think, $129. Is that what it is? I think so. I can check real quick. It goes for $129.99. Okay. Yeah, there we go. $129.99. And I can't remember where I was looking at. It goes for $129.99 new, which is, to me, that's a steal of a deal. Like I said, you're getting 6 effects at once, 172 effects that you can, use for this thing, and all these other functions we'll talk about for $129 versus Helix, which I know is more of a boutique product. It's up there with, Axe Effects in quality. It's up there with Axe Effects. It's up there with Kemper. It's up there with a lot of the other things. Quad Cortex, it blows Quad Cortex away, in my opinion. But, yeah, I understand that. But this is still one effect at a time. That's probably the thing I cannot get over, is that there's just one effect at a time. But, once again, the zoom, you can external power supply, or the other thing I forgot about is you can run this thing on 2 AA batteries. That's amazing, and they last a long time. Okay, so it's powered 3 different ways. It's more cost effective, and especially if you get it in the used market, like on Reverb. I think the links down below will take you to a Reverb site. If you get those linked, if you get in the used market, they go for about $70, $79, something like that, somewhere in the 70s. And that's a heck of a deal. It's a real good deal, especially if it's working in order. A lot of people are upgrading right now. It's the Christmas time, just about. It's the holidays. A lot of people are going to be upgrading to Helixes or whatever. And if you're just looking for, something it's a lot more versatile, has great sounds, ease of navigation, highly recommend this pedal. Really good pedal for that, especially on the used market, just like I said. Okay, so let's go to the overview, and then I will show you one more thing about this that I like, and then we'll go on to the sound samples. Okay. All right, so let's go to the pedal overview here. Let me see here. Okay. Once again, links to this pedal where you can purchase it will be below, but I'll highlight the link to the actual this page here in just a minute. Okay, where are we at? Good. Okay, so here we have the MS50G right here. Okay, so the Zoom MS50G, this is a long link. So basically, if you go to Zoom Corp and you go to the multi-effects section, like here, I can go to products, and then I think it shows up. Yeah, you can go to multi-effects right here, and then you can scroll down and find the Zoom MS50G. Okay, now here's what we've got. Zoom MS50G multi-stomp guitar pedal combines the power of a multi-effects device and the flexibility of an amp modeler in a single compact stomp box. With its 172 custom guitar effects and amp models and an easy-to-use interface, onboard chromatic tuner, and versatile power options, you'll be surprised at how much the MS50G has to offer. Okay, this is a better look at it. All right, and here's some ideas of what you can see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 6 effects in one. Okay, so let's go ahead and go this way. Here's a snapshot. You got your dynamics and your filter effects. You got your overdrive, your distortion effects, and some of the the names that are listed here. You got your amps. There's 22 amp models. You got Fender, Marshall, Mesa Boogie, 2-Rock, Diesel, Engel, and yeah, maybe even more. I'm not exactly sure, but I mean it's more than enough. There's multiple Fender, multiple Marshall, multiple Mesa Boogies, and all that. You have modulation and special effects. You have delay and reverb, just like you would in the HX1. But like I said, more than one effect at a time. You can download and manage your effects with the MS50G Effect Manager. Okay. Now the Effect Manager is very simple. Let's see if I can find it here. Actually, let's see. Would it be? Let's see. How would I find this? There it is. That's the updater. Application docs and software documents. No, that's not what I'm looking for. That Effects Manager. Okay, so if I go here and double click the Effects Manager, you will see what's going on. So I've got it connected. I've got 149 out of 172 effects. There's no DSP or memory storage left. I can take these off, add these. I can tell it to go to, right now it just goes to the mini series, and I can rescan the device if I need to. I can write effects, so I can take a noise gate off and tell it to write effects, and it will sync everything. Basically, write effects means sync. You're going to sync it together. Okay, so I have just an example of the amps that are included here. Let's see. I'm going to start with probably a Fender FD combo, a deluxe, probably reverb, of Fender Vibrolux, probably vibrato, US Blues, a Vox combo, a Vox Jimmy kind of model, BG Crunch. I think BG is, I don't know if it's Bogner or if it just means, I don't remember. I can't remember that one. The Match 30, which is a matchless, basically. Car Drive, don't know what that is. 2 Rock, Tone City, High Watt Stack, Tangerine, which is orange, Blues Breaker, Marshall Crunch, Marshall 1959, Marshall Drive, BGN Drive, which might be Bogner, BG Drive. See, these are, oh, I know what it is. It's not Bogner, it's Boogie. Okay, so you have, where'd he go? I just seen the BG somewhere. BG Crunch. I think that's Boogie, like Mesa Boogie. So Boogie Crunch and BGN is probably Bogner. Then you have Boogie Drive, Diesel Drive, Alien, which is, Engel. And I don't know if Revo is an amp or not. But looks like the amps are maybe in all caps. I guess. I'm not sure. So that's cool. There's a lot of amps in this thing. You can select all, select none. It's a very simple effects manager, but you can use it and to download and manage your effects. Okay. The latest firmware in there gives you the ability to choose from 72 additional effects. Okay, so if you buy this, make sure you go to their page and download the latest firmware. Okay, I think it's going to be at the bottom of this. We'll see in just a minute. Fully featured and easy to use. Okay, so you have the it talks about the input jacks. You have mono and stereo. You have stereo outputs, obviously, if you need that. You have the knobs here that do different functions. They also push in, so they're not just twisty knobs. They push in for different functions. And let's see, we got the batteries. You can use 2A batteries, 2 AA batteries. You can use any accessories that come with it. The AC adapter, like I said, I don't think it comes with one. I could be wrong. Because it says optional. Yeah, here's what comes included, the manual. And if you want more, you can actually go with get their AC adapter, or like I said, buy a power supply that works for all kinds of pedals, like the Donner one. Let me check my chat real quick. Okay. Here's the gallery. So let's view more here. See what else we got. Okay, that's the back of it. You got your USB and you got your DC power. And that looks like it for now. Okay. I may use these pictures here in a little bit when I'm actually describing how to use these things. But for now, let's keep going. There's their adapter right there. I don't see... There's a supports and downloads right here. So if I go to that, I can go to MS50G right here. There we go. You can find their firmware version. Okay. for Mac or Windows. I don't know exactly how to see the firmware version on this. I probably can. Let me see. Version. I'm using the latest version. So I have 3.10. Okay. All right. So you can download those there in the Effect Manager. You can download that as well here. Released at the same time. You've got the manuals. You've got different accessories and things like that. So very easy to use for that. Okay, now that we've talked about this thing, let me go back here and find the picture that I will be using for that. But the other thing I wanted to talk about, let me change my screen here so I can make sure I'm following my thing. It's compact as well. It's easy to use. The GUI seems a little dated, but the sounds are amazing, I think. And the other thing I wanted to show you, and I'll leave a link to this too later, is there is a special place you can get an editor for this. And so let me just go over there and find that and show that to you. Okay, so back to my screen here. If you go to the link, I'll include this link later, but there's a place called ToneLib. All right, and they've got some awesome effects too. And like I said, I'll leave a link to their website below where you can find this. This is called ToneLib Zoom. Okay, it's a free interface that you can use to control and edit the Zoom MS50G and a lot of other Zoom pedals. To be honest with you, they have a lot of different ones. So you can use this for the Zoom processor. And you can say, well, it says in your Zoom guitar pedal through your computer, backups of all the tones. You can share your patches with others. So I can share patches with other people that may be using Zoom. Okay. So really cool stuff. So it shows you how to start using and all this. Okay. So it gives you an overview. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually launch it. Let's see. There it is. ToneLib Zoom. And you will see what's going on. Okay, so this is version 3.1, or excuse me, 4.3.1. Is there another version? Check for updates. It's up to date. Yeah, I remember. I think last night it asked me to update. Okay, so check this out. You've got. Let's go from the left to right. Okay, so we've got online patches. People are actually. I think this is my account. It'd be cool if it is. You've got online patches. Yeah, check that out. Choose a topic you're interested in. If selected topic contains a compatible patch, the patch panel will appear. Click sound check button to load a patch in the device's memory. And check the sound through the connected device. Click load device button to install patch to your device. Press device patch editor toolbar to return to the patch editor mode. So return to editor, which is up here. So check this out. Oh my goodness. We have 10, maybe even more pages of patches. So here's all the different Zoom pedals that you can use. For right now, it doesn't look like that it includes the Zoom G6. You've got G3, G5, G1, the bass pedals, MS70, not exactly sure there. But I can go to Zoom MS50G right here and check this out. I've got tons of patches I can go to. Okay, so let's find one here. Let's go to Angus Solo. Okay, so you can tell it to sound check or load it to your device. That's pretty cool. So yeah, you got a preset library here of tons of presets. Zoom MS50G. There's all these from there. A lounge where I guess you can talk to people here. Cool. All the forums. So let's go to preset library and just see how many pages we have here. 10 pages. Yeah, tons of different things. I can even search here. I can search for, let's just do Vi. No Steve Vai. It's Marcos Foley, Angus. There we go. Angus Solo, Dimebag, titles. Advanced search, so I can tell it to search only probably like, you know, just the presets for MS50G, and I could tell it, I don't want just, I could tell it to look for Satriani. Cool Solo. Looks like it's going to reset this every time, so that's not good. Nothing for Steve Vai. All right. So anyway, I return to the editor, so that's cool. These are all my presets. Okay, so I've got 1 through 50. You can hold 50 presets at once, and that's pretty cool. I can change them going here, and it changes all. It shows me all my pedals, shows me which ones are active. Okay. And when I make a change, I don't know if it auto saves or not. It's been a while since I've done this. I think that's these buttons here. Apply changes. You can revert those back. You can clear your current patch, copy the patch data, paste the contents of the clipboard, cut the patch and put it on the clipboard, share the patch online, export the patch to a data file, and then import the patch data from a file. So all these different things you can do. Has different preferences, shortcut keys, backup, or so I can back up my whole pedal here if I want to. So that's really cool. This was from 2021, so I've apparently exported this before, and so yeah, I can change all these what I want to do, and I can adjust all these. Let's see, I want to adjust the tube screamer knobs, I want to adjust the noise gate, I want to adjust the amp settings here. I can adjust my cab. I can adjust my line. We have, looks like about 8 different cabs here. You can also turn it off if you want to use this with an I or an external IR. You can't load IRs for this. And you can't do it on the HX1 either because there's no amp. So why would you need an IR? I'm pretty sure that you can't do that. But I don't know if HX1 has an external editor. Now, technically Zoom doesn't either, but you can use this for your editor and do all these different changes and things. Okay, yeah, I can add a description here. I can go to device effects, which is back over here. I can change. I can go all my different effects here. I can go to there's all these different effects I can use, and I'm guessing this is what's on my on my Zoom device. Not everything that comes with the Zoom, because it obviously won't fit on here. By the way, this ZNR is the noise gate. It's their unique noise reduction gate, and it's very, very good. I like it a lot. So you got dynamics, filter, overdrive, distortion, acoustic simulator, all these distortion ones. You've got an amp simulator here. Really cool stuff. Well, no, there's the Vox combo. That was not included on my EMS effects manager. So maybe it is showing everything that is available. Modulation, sound effects, and delay and reverb. Loads of effects. Loads of effects. And I kind of like the vintage, black and white look. I mean, I like the way it looks. It looks nice. I can clearly see this. It's got a backlight that stays on all the time. But yeah, I mean, it's very easy to manage, very easy to customize. It also has the tuner. The device tuner is on. So you look down here. If you look down here, you can see the tuner just came on. Okay. I turn that off and it goes back off. Okay, so very, very cool stuff. Like I said, I really love the fact that I can edit my pedal with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, it'll be easier to find patches through this editor, but I'm going to kind of show you here what is going on and what happens for, I think it's, let's see, where is it? Is it that one? Yeah. Kind of show you what happens and how this thing works, okay? So let me get back down to this view. All right. So we have 3 knobs here that can turn and click, and we have these little switches here that can do different things. So I can add an effect next to one of these on the left side or on the right side. Okay, so like for example, if I go over here, it scrolls to the left or the right. And if I add one more effect, if I want to add another effect, if I press over, it doesn't do anything. But if I press and hold, I can add another effect. Okay, it shows me these different effects. And I can scroll through these effects. You have dynamic filter, distortion and overdrive, amp, modulation, sound effects, delay and reverb, or exit. Okay, and I hit the button, the middle button assigns whatever I need to that. The other thing I can do is I can press up and I can change the effect from where it is. So as you noticed a while ago, we have these in a certain order. So right there was the delay, right? Delay and reverb. So as I'm going back to here and I press up and down, this scrolls through those. So I'm going to find an auto pan, an organ, mono synth, and that's because that's the last delay. So it's going to start all over again, I'm pretty sure. We have a tape echo, a modulation delay, analog delay, reverse delay, multi-tap delay, delay. Lots of delays here. You notice, I don't know if you can see it, but this says through. That means this effect is takes too much DSP for me to add it to this, and I've only got 5 on here. So some of them take a little bit more DSP than others. There's the reverb. So we got the reverbs coming in now, and it may not be exactly like it was. Let me go ahead and go back to my editor here, my Zoom editor, and go back to where I was. It's Foley 2, where you at? Foley 2, there you go. Score changes. Okay, so I can go back and, once you get used to where these are and organized, you can go to the next one and just stay in that category. Like there's delay, so I'll just stay in the category. And if I want to jump to a different category of effect, then that's where I would use the that's where I would use the over. You would press and hold and use that. Okay, and then we have the knob. So for example, if we go into this right here, knob, I can automatically start turning things, okay? And this knob is assigned to that parameter. This one's assigned to that parameter. This is assigned to that parameter, okay? So we have different pages as well. So it says right here below these, there's 3 little words. This button, if you press it, it will allow you to tap. So you can press, and tap the delay. This one exits. The middle one is always the exit button if you press it. And then this button is always the page button when you're in your effects. So and it has 3 different tabs here or pages. So I press and it goes to page 2. I've got some other settings here. Goes to page 3. I've got some other settings, and I can exit or press page again, and it exits that out. Okay. If I go to the middle one, this is where you can see your presets. Now the cool thing about this is I can assign different effects to. When I press the stomp button, these effects will be engaged in a certain order, and that will be alphabetical. So I can assign, let's say I wanted a clean setting, I can assign that as A. And then I scroll down a little bit more, and I can find a rhythm setting. I'll assign that as B. And then I'll scroll down and find a lead setting, and that'll be C. Okay. So when I back out of that and it's in that mode, then each time I press this, it will cycle through those presets. So you got one switch, but it cycles through the presets. Okay, so that's really cool. I can put that as all these different letters here. Okay, I can also go to this. This will also allow me to store whatever changes I've made. Okay, I can store it in an empty block or the same block. If I made a change, I would press that middle button and then click store, and it would store it there. This is your settings and apparently your trash folder. So if I press this, I can delete that effect unit. I can look at the effect chain and move things around. So if I click this is enter. Click enter, and now I can actually pick up an effect and move it somewhere else in the chain. That's really cool. Okay, so you can lift it up, move it, and then place it. And then back here I can go to the settings. This is the settings for the overall unit. So you can decide whether you want to hold the tuner for a tuner or for a tap. That's what this is for. This is a tuner icon, and this is to show you it's a tap tempo icon. All right, so, and then there's all these different other things that I can do. I can scroll down and start seeing what's going on here. I can exit, and then I can see my firmware version, see some other things. Okay, so that's the ease of that use. And then you can press this and press and hold, and it will give you a tuner or the tap tempo, whichever you set it up to be. Okay, so that always will access that. That's what these two black dots are for here. So I'm done with that. I take that off. All right. So give me a second. I got to check on my son. I just heard him crying. Hopefully he's going back to sleep. If he is, I'll play you a little bit of sound sample before we take this puppy home. Okay, looks like he's doing all right. So let's look at some sound samples, and I'm going to leave this screen on. And just so I don't forget, I wanted to show you this. Okay, so you can see this a lot better. We have the trash and the settings icon, and you click that to access it. You have your, basically this icon means your list and your presets. That's the middle one, and it also is the exit one. As you can see, there's names here, page and page. You can go to the next page or whatever. It doesn't really look like that on here. When I was going to that pages, it just says page once, and then that's it. And then this one is to access the parameters or the settings for, like you see here, for example, for the overdrive. And you turn these, and they are correspond to this. This is one thing I like about this, is you can like turn knobs, and they function like a knob. Okay, so like I said, if you press and hold, you'll either get the tap tempo, which is over here, or the tuner, whichever you set it up with in the settings menu. Okay, and once again, when this is on, it doesn't mean the pedal is on. When you see the screen light up, the pedal is on. This just means that whatever effect you're on is engaged. Okay, so let me go back to this screen and check on my son one more time. Okay, we have nobody in the chat. How is the stream doing? Looks like the video is doing good here. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see at the end of this if it's worth keeping or not, if I have to re-upload this. All right, so let me get my guitar out, and we'll start listening to some sounds here. This is going to be, once again, this is the 2-rock sound. Pardon the chair squeaks for me. Okay. Let me get a pick here. So, should be able to hear this fairly well. Okay. And I can go ahead and tune this, see if I'm in tune. Okay, and there's also settings here, so I can change the tuner to be a chromatic. See here at the top, it's 440. I can change this to be a guitar, and then I can change this if I wanted to be drop tuning. But by the way, you have to be on guitar to change it to a drop tuning. So open A, open D, open E, open G, DAD-GAD tuning. Okay, so it already has a bunch of different presets. I prefer chromatic. If I went to guitar, what would it do? Okay, it would just be the same thing. I prefer chromatic, so that's what I do. And just click on it again to get it. Let's say I want to take my tube screamer off. Go over here, stomp that. Okay. Let's say I want to put a chorus on here. That's a nice chorus, by the way. There's all kinds of other things. Let's just demo some other things here. Let's do a flanger. Let's say that's too much, so I press my little parameters thing, and I can change the rate here, what I'm doing. Rates, I can slow the rate down. This MNL, I don't know what that is. Let me take that all the way down. To me it sounds like manual. I don't know what that means though. So I can change all these different things. And then the RES is probably the resonance, maybe, I don't know. Response, probably. And these little knobs are very durable too. The cool thing about this is I can fine tune it. You can actually feel a click. There's a click on each one of these. So I can fine tune this, or if I want to get to another, like if I want to get to 0 or 25 real quick, I just give it a quick twist, and there's 0. And there's always the 91. So you kind of learn how quick to turn this thing to make it activate. Okay, so we're done with that. Let's find something else. Just a silky chorus. Really cool stuff. Once again, I can go to my online tuner, or the online, not online, the ToneLib Zoom software, the editor, that's what I'm trying to say, and change things around. So I can exit and go to a different preset, come back, and it'll be right where it was before. You can set it to autosave. I don't like to do that in case I mess up. But if you wanted to save that, like I said, you would go to Store and then hit Store there, wherever you had it saved, okay? You can change, it shows you what these are. You can change the destination, you can change the characters, and you can skip over to whichever letters you're looking for. Let me just exit that. Okay, so that's my 2-rock sound. Okay, let's go to a diesel sound. Okay, let's find, here's another, here's a bassy one. I think this has got a little octave on. Nice little auto wah there, and if I want to engage that, press the button. Oh, it's on the, wait a minute, it's on the AB thing. I didn't mean to do that. If I want to go here to the bassy, and then I click exit, and that's what that will engage that. So let's see what we have here. We have a chorus that's on, an auto wah that's on, got an overdrive. And then we have a booster that's on. We also have an octaver that's on. And I don't have the noise gate on here. Because there's not really any noise happening. Okay, so let's go back here, find out what else we got. Here's an acoustic verb. See what that is. That's got a simulator on there. Got an echo, a booster, a rack compressor, and acoustic simulator. So I've got how much body, how much top end, the level. Okay, so sounds really cool. If I engage my single coils, probably sound even better. That actually sounds full. It sounds like a good acoustic sound. I really like that. Let's go back to, I seen a Petrucci sound. This, by the way, let's go to some boogie. I'm pretty sure this is the rectifier model. BG Drive, yeah, that's like the rectifier. You can see the tread plate icons are. Okay, whereas if I go to another Foley, which is Marcus Foley setting that I programmed myself. That sounds a little fuzzy to me. I could change that later if I want to, but what I ended up doing was going to the 2-rock, because I love the way that sounded. And I'm pretty sure I've seen a Petrucci here. Yeah, here's an octave fuzz. Love that. That's a based off of a I think it's full tone octave pedal, octaver, something like that, or I forget what it's called. Let's go down to Petrucci here. What I think we're using. Oh, okay. It's another BG Drive on this one. I can't remember how Glasgow Kiss goes, but it's something like that. Okay, nice, full, warm tone. It's got EQs on here, so you could roll off the highs, roll off the lows if you wanted to. It's got a graphic EQ. I think it's a parametric EQ. A bunch of different EQs on here you can use. But once again, there's a rectifier rhythm. I like that it actually goes to that preset rather than me having to exit every time. So here's a Mr. Vi with an EQ on here apparently. Okay. There's also one more that I like. Here's a John Mayer preset, Steve Lukather. See what Mr. Vi was using here, what we was using for that, which amp, an Alien, so that's an angle. Next preset, What's the John Mayer sound like? So that was looks like a Fender amp, a Fender combo amp. Okay. The Steve Lukather is a diesel drive of all things. / Mesa Boogie Mark III. I don't know why I called it a Mark III. Maybe I meant Mark II. BG Crunch, so that's a Mesa Boogie Crunch, based after that, I think. I could use to change the tone on that a little bit. This is called Sag D, I think, for drop D. Using an Alien for this one, which is appropriate for Satch. Friends from Satriani. Andy Timmons, here's one of my favorite presets. Not exactly like Andy Timmons. I've got a dual digital delay. I've got an Air, which gives it that stereo wideness sound. I've got an arena reverb there. That's the last effect. It's number 6. I've got a graphic EQ. I've got the Alien, that's what this preset is using, and the noise gate. Cry for You, Andy Timmons song, one of his best. Paul Gilbert's. At least that's my version of Paul Gilbert here. What am I using? Detune. Marshall. So I was using a Marshall drive. That's probably based on a, what's this? Bottom? I don't know what that is. Ooh, that's a heavy distortion pedal. I'm thinking that's based on a JTM 80, 800, something like that. Yeah, a lot of good stuff here. And then an air on the back to also give me that wide tune. Okay, so let's do a couple more here. There's a dotted 8 that's real fun. Love those. SRV, Lenny. And then there's one up here I wanted to do. Here's one called Make It Rain. Funky Wah. Bon Jovi. Oh, yeah. I remember exactly how that goes. The effect that that's using is called, let's see, where's that at? A cry. It gives it that talk box effect. And let's see here. Anything else? I don't want to go to all these. The one I'm looking for is called Icicles. Here it is. This is an Icicles delay pedal. It sounds amazing. Isn't that beautiful music to my ears, folks? The Zoom MS50G is a wonderful, in my opinion, wonderful alternative to the HX1. Now, one more thing before we go. I just happened to notice, and if you were watching closely, you may have noticed it too. When I was doing the research for this video, I noticed something that I didn't notice before. I thought I'd just stop the stream all of a sudden. Let me look it up real quick. And I will point it out, see if anybody notices. Let me get it pulled up here. All right. Look at this and tell me what you notice. Leave in the comments below if you notice something. and what it is you notice, okay? Let me know that you're watching. Let me know that you're paying attention. Leave it in the comments below. Tell me something you notice. And I will reveal it in 3, 2, 1. Did y'all notice this? The MS50G Plus? What? I just checked this the other day, and it says, oh, this is only available for pre-order, so this is brand spanking new. Okay? Now, for one thing I want you to notice, it's the same price as the regular 50G. So you may want this pedal instead. Okay? Once again, the links are below. Please use those links. That will go a long way toward helping me, because they are affiliate links. They actually give me a little bit of a commission, and that will show your support for this channel. And I appreciate everybody that supports this channel. So let's click on into this and see what we got. I've already got it open, pulled up here. They put a lot of marketing behind this. As you can see, a lot more stuff. So once again, you've got the add to cart. Now notice, this is different. Okay, you've got 100 pedals in one. So I'll get on the different, the pros of this and the maybe some other considerations on this here in just a minute. But you've got color screen, okay? You've got these 4 weird doohickeys. You've got an extra knob here, okay? Easier navigation. And are you seeing this? Yes, good. There's a little video you can play. Okay. And then the website's a little clunky when you get to certain parts of it. You can listen to sound samples of this. Okay. If I go down a little bit further, this is where it gets weird. You can design your own patches. One page, then the next page. Color coded for the stage. So the LCD screen changes color, make it easier to distinguish each category effects while scrolling. So that's pretty cool. That up and down scrolling I was using. Now you can memorize the colors and know what category you're on. Not a big thing, but it's pretty cool to have anyway. Okay, so we also have, it's made out of rugged construction, just like the 50G regular is. You've got cross key switches. That's what these are, for easy access. Allow you to instantly switch between effects with a tap of your foot. So he's actually pressing on these. So you've got your memory. I'm guessing this is your presets, your banks. And then these says scroll. So I'm guessing you can, this is the cool thing about this that you can't do on the MS50G if this is the way it works. You can scroll through your effects like I was scrolling the back and forth way with just pressing the thing. And let's say you wanted your chorus off. So you can scroll through and turn your chorus off. And then scroll back through, turn it back on. That's what I'm guessing is the way it works. This is a USB-C as opposed to the little, not a printer cable, but it's an old style USB thing. And it's also a DC, but it looks like there's a DC 5 volt and a DC 9 volt here, which is cool, that you can plug into for your power supply. You can tweak it to your heart's content. You have stereo outputs just like the regular 50G, and it has a little bit more up-to-date looking tuner. Standard tunings as well as open and drop tunings. Same thing as the MS50G. 2 AA's again, USB power or AC power. Once again, that's a good plus. This is a biggie. This is new. It's coming soon to the App Store. You have a Handy Guitar Lab app so that you don't have to reach down and change all this stuff. So that's pretty cool. Rather than it probably would still work maybe with the ToneLib Zoom thing. It will probably still pull up for this, hopefully, if it has an updated version, maybe. So that's cool. But yeah, you've got a growing library of patches, effects, and expand your sound in the Guitar Lab for app. So that's really cool about that. We got some original amp models. Let's check out this. There's, I think, 6 or 7 new amps that they're including in here. These may be the only amps. It may not include all those other ones. I'm not sure. These are original amps. You'd have to view specs probably. You have to see what the specs are. I would definitely check into that. Look at some videos, see some reviews on this thing. But let's listen to the Krampus drive here. Make sure you can hear when I do this. I don't think you can. Well, you can go to the website and listen to it. I will try one more thing. I think I can do this real quick and let you hear what's going on. I won't be able to hear it, but you should. Now let's see if this works. Okay, I couldn't hear that, but I could tell it's coming through the Evo, so that's good. My audio interface. Here's the Red Loom drive. Velvet drive. Muddy drive. Seven Heaven drive, which is perfect for 7/8 string guitars. And another drive that's great for slap playing or gent. And you can also go down here and listen to what it sounds like within a track. Okay, so let me turn this back up to, I think it was a -5.4. Okay, so all those cool things that you can do with the MX50G Plus. Back up to the top. Go back to my main part here. Let's talk about this for just a second. I don't know where I started. I think this is 115. Let's just do that. We'll do that. Okay, you color-coded screens for effect categories. There's some pluses here. You get 6 additional Zoom original amps, maybe additional. I don't know if they're going to replace all the rest of them. They've kind of started using their original amps for a lot of effects. They got the cross key switches, and you have a smartphone amp. Now, the other things to think about, the other Zoom considerations are you still get up to 6 effects at once. But you only have 100 effects now instead of 172. And now that you have an app, you probably could download all the effects using the app rather than that effects manager that I used for the MS50G. But once again, brand new, this is $129. So that tells me it used to be the MS50G original was only $99. I got mine for like $100 brand new. They jumped up the price to $129, which is still a great deal. But now you can get the MS50G Plus for that, for the same price as you can get the other one new. So that means that when this thing comes out, and I think it did say pre-order. Let me check that one more time. It says add to cart. Pre-order today. Yeah, so it's not available just yet. But I did, what I'm trying to say is you got to pre-order it, and it's the same price as the MS50G brand new. I think I was going somewhere else with that, but my mind is about fried, about time to go to bed. So once again, that is the alternative. Is HX1 the best option? I know I spent most of the time on the Zoom MS50G here, and if you want to see the other demo video, the link will be in the description below. But you heard the sounds. To me, the sounds sounded great. The effects sound great in the Zoom. So if you're on the fence, you don't know which one to try, like I said, I know what I was going to say, is now that the MS50G Plus is coming out, that should make the regular MS-50G even cheaper on the used market. Okay, so that's just something to consider if you want to do that. But I'm happy with this. This is a great travel pedal. It's great to take on the go. Just a good pedal overall. I think I'm just about done, guys, because I've still got to, add these chapters and all this stuff to the video. But so I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you can, if you don't mind, if you decide to get some of these things, please check out the links in the description below. It would really help me out as well if you would just click the click the like button. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. And click the notification bell so that you will be notified of any future videos, all right? Now, at the end here, I usually add some video cards. I can't believe I pointed the right spot up here in the corner. So at the end of this video, you should be able to see some of those, and it'll kind of take you where you need to go next, all right? Guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you on the next video, and God bless, and have a wonderful rest of your evening. Take care, and keep creating.